Namaskar. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today's topic should be mainly interacted with the parents and the child. Parents with a small little caution and advice, and child to be very particular about listening to your voice of the soul. Today we are going to address about a very important topics, and that is about selection of career, and in particular today we'll be talking about who can be eligible to get a job in the administrative services, Indian administrative services, and this is the prime topics today. But before I begin into that, I might be a little out of place, but still find fit to say that parents should choose a career for a child not of their choice. They can go for a career counseling. They can come to us. We astrologer can definitely say what kind of career path is going to be suitable for him. And needless to mention that astrologers who are really knowledgeable about the subject, they can surely say that what kind of stream that a child should obtain so that ultimately they become successful in their pursuit. What I'm talking in the beginning is that listen the voice of the soul. What is the soul? Soul is basically sun in the horoscope, and which is basically Atmakarak planet for the native. Now the placement of sun in the horoscope will decide or give a voice to the child actually what he is meant to be in his life, or what kind of a career this man is going to have. Is he going to be, a mechanical engineer? Is he going to be a teacher? Is he going to be a sports teacher, or is he going to be teacher teaching biology? Is it that somebody is going to be a person, in spite of being qualified, is going to be interested in cultivation? That all can be said from a horoscope. Only one thing that we suggest to the people, that kindly give us the right birth time. Because when we go into the depth of analysis, basically the significance of time become very important. There are different tools through which we can understand what kind of a time that your child is supposed to be. So that's a different procedure. Now let's come to the point that we are discussing today. Indian administrative services is one of the most proud moments for anybody. This is a job one will do throughout the life, and this is possible because this is a government job, administrative job, and there are two ruling planets. One is Sun himself, that is the king of the universe, and second is Moon, that is the minister of the universe, that is the prime minister of the universe is Moon. So these two planets are playing a very significant role primarily. So is the lagna. It could be Leo lagna, it could be Cancer lagna. They are extremely important. More so important is Lord of the lagna. If it is other than Leo and Cancer, the Lord of the lagna has to be very well placed. And most interesting would be again if it has been aspected by any brilliant benefic planet. This could be Jupiter, this could be Moon himself or herself, or this could be Mercury. They are all very intelligent planet. This could be Venus. They are the basically benefic planet. right? Now then we have understood it is the lagna, it is the sun, it is the moon. They are primarily very important in this case. As we are talking about the job, then naturally it is connected to the profession and the 10th house. It is not only the lagna chart, we have to also take consultation from the Navang's chart. We have to take further approval from D10 chart. We call it the Samans Kundli. There is no shortcut to this. What I am telling at the moment, this is possibly one of the shortcut. The 10th house lord is primarily very important. Now when the 10th house lord becomes sun himself or moon herself, in that case it becomes even more prominent. When the lord of the lagna and the lord of the 9th house and 10th house, and if they are primarily occupied by planet like sun and moon, either by aspect or by position or by exchange, by any means, this is extremely important because भाग्य एक ऐसी चीज है जो बहुत कृतकर्मा लोगों को भी बैठा के रख दिया है. अगर भाग्य ने साथ नहीं दिया तो पौरुष भी कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. आज जिनका भाग्य प्रबल होगा उनकी पौरुष की कमी तो होने नहीं देते हैं. Am I right? So there is a significant role to play for the position of sun and moon in the horoscope. Sun is the ruler and basically moon that basically revolves the entire ministry of administration. So these two are so important. And I have told that is the lord of the lagna. If it is aspected by a malefic planet, Sone pe Shuhaga. Another important house which most of the people just are afraid of, but उनके बगैर किसी जॉब में भयंकर सफलता पाना नामुमकिन होता है. I am referring about the 6th house. I have seen most of the people are extremely afraid of 6th, 8th and 12th. In recent past, I have seen some people have been quite bold enough to understand, yes, no, they are also good. 6th house is basically the 9th house of the 10th house. 9th house is called as Bhagya Bhav. 10th house is known as the Karma Bhav. तो कर्म भाव की जो भाग्य भाव है, that is 6th house. So how this 6th house is going to be bad for an human being? कैसे बैड हो सकता है, क्या क्या नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट दे सकते हैं, अलग तरीके से बात अलग है. लेकिन कर्म के लिए और रोजगार करने के लिए 6th house has a very predominant role to play. That is what is my simple communication. फिर और सोचिए, दिस इज द 10th हाउस ऑफ योर 9th हाउस. भाग्य घर के जो कर्म की भाव है वो 6th हाउस है. कर्म भाव की जो भाग्य की भाव है वो 6th हाउस है. Am I right? So that is how 6th house is so very important, particularly for somebody who are in the service. सेवामूलक कोई भी काम में अगर जुड़ा हुआ कोई भी व्यक्ति हो, उनके लिए 6th हाउस. नौकरी करने वाला कोई भी व्यक्ति हो, उनके लिए 6th हाउस. डॉक्टरी करने के लिए, टू बिकम वन ऑफ द reputed lawyer, 6th house is extremely important. Now, besides 6th house, there is an important house, we call it 8th house. People are quite afraid if the 8th house lord is in the 10th house, or 10th house lord is in the 8th house, or there is an exchange. People say this man is not going to have a very good, kind of a job. His job is going to be restless, lot of pressure, lot of tension. 8th house is basically विपत्ति की कारक मानी जाती है. 8th house का वो खाली ये विपत्ति नहीं देते हैं. अगर इस रास्ते में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, अगर हमको मालूम है, तो जिस रास्ते में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है और हम अपन डेस्टिनेशन में पहुंच सकते तो उसी रास्ता को चूज कर ले. Am I right? Let me tell you, 8th house is a great significator for great positions in life. It can make one at the department. They can officiate in a very high positions. 8th house can give you in a very good level, particularly in the sector when you choose rightly. Could be Indian Revenue Services, Income Tax Department, taxation spot in general, insurance. 8th house basically signifies those kind of activities. What I was suggesting you, that if you are supposed to be an income tax officer or a revenue officer, or could be a person of a very high profile in the taxes and management, then why should somebody choose to be something else? Because somebody's brother is doing that, somebody's child is doing that. I am not going to follow that. I am going to follow what I am supposed to be doing in my life and be successful. 8th house is importantly, if you look into, it is basically the 11th house from your 9th house. What is the 11th house? 11th house is basically your earning, no? तो आपकी कर्म भाव के जो आय के भाव जो है वो अष्टम भाव के साथ संपर्क रखता है. कैसे आप कहेंगे कि ये भाव खराब है? नहीं कहना चाहिए. Finally, you will see there is a wonderful correlation with the 11th house. What is 11th house? 11th house is basically your net income, net profit. Earning huge resources, huge money, huge wealth. And 8th house is the 10th house of that 11th house. अच्छा, एक बात कहते हैं, अगर लग्न की सापेक्ष में 11th हाउस में बैठे हुए प्लैनेट अगर शुभ होता है, शुभ माना जाता है, तो 11th की संदर्भ में 8th हाउस में बैठे हुए प्लैनेट अशुभ कैसे हो सकता है? वहां भी शुभ होना चाहिए. तो दिस इज a very important concept to keep in mind. Further, the role of Venus is very important because this kind of job is not only gives you responsibility, it also gives you a very luxurious lifestyle. And luxurious lifestyle can only be obtained only when Venus is very predominant in the chart. Venus has to be very, it has to have some connection with this Venusian planet that is Venus. Either by aspect or by house or by drishti, aspect is drishti only, or by exchange, whether it is Rashi drishti, whether it is planet aspect, anyway, there has to be some connection about that. The role of the node planet, that is Rahu and Ketu, जिससे दुनिया डरते हैं, जबकि मैं समझता हूं कि this is an extremely important planet. If it is connected to your 10th house, then 10th lord, or in any way there is a conjunction in a malefic way, a benefic way, this is going to make this happen, because किसी भी चीज को रूपांतरित करने में सबसे बड़े रोल जो प्ले करते हैं, and that is Rahu. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I gave a summarization of the complete format for a government job or for a routine job, administration job. It is the sun and the moon, they are important. It is the 6th, 8th, they are extremely important. There will be certainly the 12th house will have a very, very predominant role for this and that. That we'll talk much about when we talk about different branches of administrative services. That we'll talk about. जहाँ हमको और कुछ बड़ी सारी बातें करनी है. Venus is very important, Rahu is very important, the Lagna is very important. Amatyakarak planet is very important. Amatyakarak planet is that which basically determines your job selections. Right? बहुत सारी बातें हैं, बहुत सारी बातें की जा सकती हैं, तो हम वीडियो को और लंबा नहीं करते हैं. तो keep these things in mind, keep these factors in mind. And I have seen number of charts where I see people are quite a prosperous one to get selected there, and they are pursuing for Indian administrative services. Thank you so much and namaskar.